Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenji Ambrose, and you're tuned into my channel, I guess. Today, I want to talk about something very important for the residents of the state of New Mexico. I want to talk about PNM, or Public Service of New Mexico. But for residents of New Mexico, we know there's not a whole lot of public service involved. Apparently, they can just shut down your power in the middle of winter and allow you to freeze to death unless you're on some type of disability or involved in some type of government program. If you're not in the program, if you're just paying your bills, and let's say you come across a hard month, your company cuts hours, they will not take any excuses. They want their payment immediately, even if it's in the middle of winter. Many New Mexicans have been harmed by their greedy, immoral, unethical business tactics. Considering they are a tax-subsidized company, no New Mexican should ever have their power shut off in winter. Ever. Ever. Especially in the wintertime. According to policies that only benefit that company and not the residents of New Mexico, the only people who are safe from having their power shut off in the winter are people who are in the LIHEAP, Light and Heat program, that helps people who are disadvantaged pay their bills. And it's a wonderful program, but if you make a little bit too much money, you don't qualify. And like I said before, let's say you come across a hard month or two, and like the mob, they want their money when they snap their fingers. One of many unscrupulous programs they have is called budget billing. On the surface, it sounds wonderful. It looks good on paper. However, if you move, they're going to hit you with an exorbitant bill. They give you a monthly bill that's measured. You won't pay over this amount, but they're keeping that back bill on the burner. You're still being charged. They're just not charging you at the time. But if you move, they will charge you that remainder immediately. Doesn't matter how much it is. No excuses. They expect you to pay immediately. They might put you on a payment program, but in my case, when I moved, and this is after all of the moving costs, and we all know about moving costs. After one moves and you pay all the expenses just to move you and your stuff over to a new place, they're going to hit you with this ridiculously high bill for whatever they didn't charge you before. In my case, it was $900. They told me I could pay it all in one, or I could pay it in $300 increments. Now, I don't know about you, but I couldn't afford it. I don't know too many people, especially in Trump economy, that could afford an extra $900 after they spent so much money moving, or even additional $300 on top of that, along with all their other bills. And well, with only a 10-minute warning, they shut my power off in the middle of winter. According to the bill, I had until the 28th to pay, but they shut my power off on the 19th with just a text message. That night, it dropped down to 20 degrees, and it continued to drop for the next 3 days in the dark, in the cold, in my apartment, trying to raise up the funds desperately, trying to get the money together so I could pay their extortion fee. I could have frozen to death. How many have frozen to death because of their greed, huh? With a little online research, one can find multiple complaints submitted to the Better Business Bureau on PNM and their immoral, unethical business tactics. Families on a budget, retired people thrust with bills over $1,000 and told they need to pay immediately. Considering this is a tax-subsidized company, they have no right to do that to the tax-paying citizens, to the residents of New Mexico, whose taxes and what we pay in electric bill literally do pay their salaries. Multiple complaints on the Better Business Bureau. Here's one from somebody who was thrown a $627 plus $1,889.94 bill. Even though the electric company, PNM, could not prove that they had used that electricity, they were not willing to admit it could possibly be a wrong reading, and left it up to the owners to have to pay a retired couple. My God, how immoral and unethical. Okay, here's another one. Um, my service was disconnected on a rainy night where the temperature was below 57 degrees. No advanced warning. No advanced warning. Here's another person. P&M adding a $123 adjustment just because they feel like it. How many people have had to suffer? How many people have had to suffer because of P&M's greed? In January of 2025, I removed budget billing from my account. My bills since October of 2024 showed that I had a credit of $35.28. Then once budget billing was removed from my account, an adjustment of $123.02 was added. Where did P&M add this adjustment from? That is a very good question, but they don't explain it. So as I said before, too many New Mexicans are suffering, while a few live lavishly. I mean, come on, people. These are our taxes. Our taxes are paying for them to abuse us this way so that 10 people on a board and Dan and Patricia can get, or Don or whatever his name is, can get wealthy while our grandmothers freeze to death in their homes. This is for all residents of New Mexico. It's time we stand up. It's time we picket their homes. It's time we stand up and say that we will no longer tolerate our taxes subsidizing these wealthy scumbags that are harming us. If you've been harmed by P&M and its budget billing program or any other program they've instilled, please contact this YouTube channel. We are starting an investigation. We want all the help we can get. Please, New Mexicans, get involved. While hardworking, middle class, poor New Mexican residents, and these are people who are paying their taxes and going to work. I'm not talking about whatever you might want to, categorize people as. I'm talking about human beings in New Mexico, many of them with jobs, working, paying their bills, freezing, going in the dark, while people like Don Terry, the CEO, gets a bonus, or his predecessor, Patricia Vincent Colowan, who lived in Texas, while they sit back and the board of directors and the executives make millions, people are suffering for their greed. Now, the state of New Mexico really should do something about it. Too many people have been hurt. Too many people are paying taxes to not have to be treated like this by a bunch of spoiled, rotten Nepo babies in their palaces, while we suffer.